Hello, I'm Juliet James and we are in Crown Point once more. Last week I took you on a journey for one part of the area from the airport to the Store Bay Beach. This week I'm going to take you to a few places where you can shop for the upcoming Tobago Jazz experience or have a nice meal. But that's not all, so stick around to see where else we venture to. Let's Talk Tobago starts now. This week, some insight on the meeting between the Water and Sewerage Authority and the Tobago House of Assembly. Highlights of the face-to-face community meeting, and later, MORIAH relaunches its Police Youth Club. These stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago continues.
9 days of fun in the sun. The Tobago Jazz Experience, April 16th to 24th, featuring David Rudder, Tree Canal, Third World, J. Cole, Arturo Tappan, Etienne Charles, and Grammy Award-winning artists Maxwell and Miss Lauryn Hill. For more info, visit www.tobagojazzexperience.com. The Tobago Jazz Experience is sponsored by the THA Division of Tourism, Flow, TDC, Carib, and Caribbean Airlines. The Tobago Jazz Experience is much more than music.
The Tobago House of Assembly has a plan, the Comprehensive Economic Development Plan, CEDP, and it is for all of us. Are you ready to benefit from higher levels of development in Tobago and a higher standard of living?
We ready!
The priority areas are branding Tobago, clean, green, safe, and serene. Business development and entrepreneurship.
Are you ready?
Human capital development.
I'm ready.
Social development and resilience.
I'm ready.
Improved infrastructure and utilities. Enhanced safety and security.
I'm ready.
Environmental sustainability. Tourism.
Are you ready?
Marine resources and forestry.
Are you ready?
Good governance and institutional reform.
The CEDP is ready. Join us and get on board.
Let's travel the island, straight back to my land, even to Thailand.
The Colosseum is owned by businessman Desmond Spence and located on Milford Road in close proximity to the Pigeon Point Junction. Now, WASA is making customer satisfaction their business by implementing strategies to ensure consistency in the island's water supply. More details in this story.
The activation of wells at Marys Hill and Calder Hall adds 600,000 gallons of water per day to Tobago's supply. It's just the start of the Water and Sewerage Authority, WASA's well development program.
We expect a third well at Canby to come into production shortly. That's phase 1 of our well development program for this dry season. Phase 2, we'll be going out to tender for drilling and equipping of wells shortly, other wells that is. Phase 2 means that an additional 4 million gallons of water is expected to come into the system as we try to balance the supply and demand situation going forward into this year.
The construction of a desalination plant is another aspect of WASA's water supply plan for the island.
At the board level, the board has approved WASA going out to tender for an expression of interest for a desalination plant at Cove. That is out now. The EOI closes on the 12th of May of this year.
Expanding Tobago's truck-borne water service has also helped improve the supply to residents and businesses.
We are pleased, however, to report that based on those initiatives and supplementing that with additional water trucking service available to the Tobago public, we have been able to satisfy the demands at this point in time.
At their latest meeting with Chief Secretary Orville London and other THA officials, WASA's executive confirmed it's currently planning another major project, the desilting of the Hillsborough Dam. It is expected that WASA will continue to update the THA on the measures being taken to mitigate the impact of low water levels brought on by the harsh dry season. I'm Kern De Freitas for Let's Talk Tobago.
This three-story mall was officially opened on November 23, 2015 and currently houses an estimated 20 shops. The mall comprises a food court, stores, and a conference space. Now from the spacious indoors, let's shift to the burning topic of outdoor bushfires. The bushfire season is still open, so Omadara Mills shares a few tips on how we can reduce bushfires and the impact on the environment. Here's more.
The Scarborough Botanics is a place of greenery and natural beauty.
But recently, this part of the garden was affected by the illegal torching of heaps of dried leaves that's used as mulch around the plants.
Cocoa trees and a cabbage palm are few of the trees that were severely burnt. Some will have to be cut down, while others may never grow again. It illustrates the negative effects bushfires have on the environment, our health, and infrastructure.
If we're looking at especially our watershed, we have fires, they destroy the succession of the trees, there's no land cover, then we have less water collecting, because when the rain falls, it hits the bare land, it runs off, right, which will cause flooding also. Also, we have a lot of persons who are asthmatic and otherwise, so the fires will encourage those lung complications. Also, we have what we will call damage to structures. Some persons lose their homes.
The bushfire season runs between December 1st and June 30th. During that time, people are asked to be mindful of their actions in reducing or preventing bushfires.
Also, the law states that the officers could ask for assistance, males between the age of 16 and 60 years, to help out fires, right? Because it's all about us and our environment. Also, we are not to throw any cigars or match or any pipe on the ground, any bush or forested area, because it is flammable and it could cause fire and mass destruction.
To set a fire, you first have to obtain a permit from the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service. A fire guardian will be assigned to inspect the area and ensure that certain conditions are met before the fire can be lit.
There need to be some sort of fire trace. Traces can be cut generally 30 feet wide or 50 feet wide based on the circumstances. It is best to have the fuel that will be burnt in small areas, what we call locally bukas, rather than have it spread out over the whole site. If it spreads out over the whole site and you set a fire, that fire can run fast.
Under the Agricultural Fires Act 6302, the penalties are as follows: $1,500 and 6 months imprisonment for setting a fire without a permit, and $750 or 3 months imprisonment for leaving a fire unattended.
For more information, you can contact the THA's Department of Natural Resources and the Environment at 660-2079 or 639-2502. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
The inspiration for this mall originated from Desmond Spencer's love and passion for business. This mall serves good for employment and business opportunities in the fast-growing area of Crown Point. And speaking of improvements, the Roxborough Police Youth Club is having a positive influence in the community by engaging young people in activities to help them overcome social challenges. Here are the details in this report.
Youths engaged in a positive activity that will add value to their future. It's one of the initiatives of this homework center. It's an initiative of the Roxborough Police Youth Club. The program serves 10 schools on the eastern side of the island. The club also facilitates a Just for Boys program. For its many programs geared towards youth development, Roxborough Police Youth Club won the Express Community Group of the Year award.
It's a great feeling to know that all these activities and projects that you are doing and you're putting in place, that you're not doing it to be recognized, but yet still you're being recognized for all the work that you would have been putting in.
Part of the prize money will go towards constructing a caring intervention for troubled youth center or city, a reinvestment that will help the club target the troublesome behavior of some young people. Founding member of the club, Collis Hazel, says collaborating with private and public organizations has helped the club achieve success.
We look forward to working with organizations such as the Express newspaper and all the other corporate organization and governmental organization who seems to set projects that target NGOs to participating in building community initiatives.
It's the third Express Community Group Award the Roxborough Police Youth Club has received. It's also a confidence-boosting win for the club's 130-plus members.
I think that the award, yes, it has boosted their morale in terms of, you would see that they are just not coming out here, giving their attention, taking part in all these different activities that we have, and yes, they are being awarded for it.
It's an award that's sure to keep them reaching for success. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
On the other side of the break, highlights on the latest face-to-face community meeting. Stay with us. Let's Talk Tobago. We'll be right back.
9 days of fun in the sun. The Tobago Jazz Experience, April 16th to 24th, featuring David Rudder, Tree Canal, Third World, J. Cole, Arturo Tappan, Etienne Charles, and Grammy Award-winning artists Maxwell and Miss Lauryn Hill. For more info, visit www.tobagojazzexperience.com. The Tobago Jazz Experience is sponsored by the THA Division of Tourism, Flow, TDC, Carib, and Caribbean Airlines. The Tobago Jazz Experience is much more than music.
We know that the Tobago Jazz Experience is right around the corner and everyone wants to look their best, especially the ladies. Well, you can stop in at Bella Cosmetics for your makeup and personal care products to ensure you get the perfect look for your jazz line. We take a step away from beauty now to pay attention to the Betsy's Hope THA community meeting, which gave residents a chance to interact with their area representative. Here's more.
Residents of the Roxborough-Delaford electoral district grasped the opportunity to listen to their area representative account for the work done in their district. They weren't shy to give their perspective in return to raise their concerns with members of the Tobago House of Assembly and to get responses from the Assembly at the 5th face-to-face meeting.
I want to ask that some attention be paid to the Roxborough River, and I'm happy that Mr. Godwin Adams is here, because we want that river. I'm living in the Renaissance, and the Renaissance is going to flood.
The river along the Renaissance, we would have done some work there, which you know, okay? And there are some more work to be done. However, if I can get, I will have my engineer go out there and see exactly what is to be done. It means that there may be some, technically speaking, there may be some training of the river to run in a specific direction.
Residents are also appealing for a Roxborough police station.
I think tenders should go out for that, the Roxborough police station and the Old Grange police station. We've been in discussion with UDCOT. In fact, the meeting one of the reasons I was late is because I was meeting with Mr. Garcia of UDCOT, and there is a commitment to fast track those two projects.
They also had a special request.
The call was for that beautiful building that was built in Argyle by Mr. Hilton Sandy. He's a man that we will never forget in Roxborough. Roxborough, Delaford, Belgarden. And we want Hilton Sandy to remain in our face all the time. And there can be no other tribute and public honor to that man more than to see, we want to see that micro mall be named the Hilton Sandy Micro Mall.
The next face-to-face meeting will be held in the electoral district of Lambo Signal Hill on May 5th. I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
Bella Cosmetics has two branches, one in Scarborough and the other is this branch right here in Crown Point for your convenience. They cater not only to women but the entire family. So catch this. Lead Us Not emerges the winner of the 3-day Marlin Madness tournament hosted by the Trinidad and Tobago Game Fishing Association. Here's Juliet James reeling in this report.
The winning team, Lead Us Not, Conrad Skinner, captain and crew. Fantastic fishing, guys. Great job. And good luck in Costa Rica.
This is part of the winner's prize at the 36th Annual Trinidad and Tobago Game Fishing Association Marlin Madness Tournament, a paid invitation to the 2017 Offshore World Championships in Quipos, Costa Rica. Captain Conrad Skinner from Lead Us Not says he doesn't expect it to be easy.
From looking at the stats and looking at other tournaments that have taken place in the past, I expect it to be crazy, and I am looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great.
Despite the challenges, Captain Skinner says that he is proud the hard work at this tournament paid off.
We caught 4 blue marlins on the first day. Within the first 2 hours, we had 3, and then we lost our engine. And on the way back down, we actually picked up the 4th one, which was amazing.
Sailing from Grenada to Barbados and then to Tobago, the Grenadian crew from the boat Irish Cream takes home the 2nd place and best foreign boat prizes.
We came here with the attitude to fish, you know, and I told the guys, let's go hard out at it. Let's try not to lose any fish, because we know we have some big marlins here. There was no really strategy, we just eat, drink and fish.
3rd and 4th were reeling and dealing and blue fever respectively. In all, 16 boats and 82 anglers competed, where they caught, tagged and released 42 fish, double the haul from the last competition. TTGFA Marlin Madness Tournament is supported by the Divisions of Tourism and Transportation, Agriculture and Marine Affairs, and Education, Youth Affairs and Sport. From the Division of Tourism and the Transportation, I'm Juliet James reporting for Let's Talk Tobago.
Bella Cosmetics is owned by Paul Telesford, and the brand has made a name for itself in just the 24-month period since the Scarborough branch first opened. The branch here at Crown Point was officially opened 1 year ago. Now, speaking of openings, the official countdown to celebrating the Tobago Heritage Festival has begun. This year, the committee decided on a trilogy that will take us from 2016 to 2018. Here's a hint: bring back the old-time days. Have a look at this story.
Is bring back the old-time days, cut and contrive. Yes, we're learning how those before us prospered even in uncertain times. And after August the 1st, the experience continues. So I invite you to get ready to journey from village to see this theme come alive.
This is just one of the advertisements you may have heard or seen for the 2016 Tobago Heritage Festival. And yes, we are months away from the series of community events which are expected to start on July 14th. But there's a reason for this.
By the time we finish with jazz and all that, we go right into the Tobago Heritage Festival, and you know it's a part of your psyche. You look forward to it. It's there. It's in your mind. And that's why we're doing this. In addition to some other things that we're going to do, because we're building up the campaign.
There's a new trilogy for the 2016 to 2018 period, Bring Back the Old Time Days. This year, there'll be the emphasis on Cut and Contrive, a title that's in keeping with the economic situation of the island and what people can do to survive it.
We agreed that the first phase of the old time days should be the way of our parents lived, the way in which they were frugal, they saved. And well, if you all know of what is happening in the country, in the world, as a matter of fact. And so we're encouraging people to save.
The organizing committee for the Tobago Heritage Festival is collaborating more closely with the village councils. It is also encouraging early planning for heritage events such as MORIAH's Old Time Wedding and Blackrock's Sea Festival, so that locals and visitors can still have a great experience despite the budget cuts.
The quality of our cultural expressions and the quality of our events should not be compromised. And I do think it would be, given the spirit of how we started having people, communities started, so, you know, getting in, giving ideas of how things could happen. And so And it's wonderful. It's a wonderful experience. Because I feel at the end of the festival, we should all develop that kind of consciousness that would assist us in moving forward.
Traditional events will run until November, and patrons can enjoy events such as Palotevier's The French in We, Buku's Goat Races, and Goodwood's Yam Festival. I'm Omodara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Coming up, the details on MORIAH Police Youth Club. See you right after this break.
9 days of fun in the sun. The Tobago Jazz Experience, April 16th to 24th, featuring David Rudder, Tree Canal, Third World, J. Cole, Arturo Tappan, Etienne Charles, and Grammy Award-winning artists Maxwell and Miss Lauryn Hill. For more info, visit www.tobagojazzexperience.com. The Tobago Jazz Experience is sponsored by the THA Division of Tourism, Flow, TDC, Carib, and Caribbean Airlines. The Tobago Jazz Experience is much more than music.
Going to Barbados? Why continue to pay high prices when you can get there for only US $231.95, all taxes included? Yes, you heard right. You can now travel to Barbados from Tobago for a mere US $231.95 on Gold's weekly service. So if you're going to Barbados for business, the beach, crop over, or attending university, stop wasting your money on those other high-priced airlines and get there for a fraction of the cost. To book, just log on to www.vogel.com.br. Barbados just got closer.
La Cantina Pizzeria Tobago is owned by Kester Sylvester and is located on the same compound as the Royal Bank of Canada in Crown Point. It has been operating for 6 years and specializes in authentic Italian pizzas and salads. The children are definitely the future of tomorrow, and this serves as a reason why any sport or youth club is important. This next report highlights one village which serves as the most recent addition to the Police Youth Club. Have a look at this story.
A taste of the skills being honed at the newest police youth club on the island.
Some of the programs that the club is presently involved in are dance classes, football, aerobics, movie nights, study school, and lots more.
The fire at MORIAH Police Youth Club has been rekindled. The club, which was started in 1998, ran for only 2 years. In 2016, it's taken its spot once more in the forefront of the community.
Police youth clubs we see as very important for the all-round development of the country. Because as I say, once the young people are channeled in positive directions, that could only augur well for Trinidad and Tobago.
The club is already making its name known at several events.
The club has participated in many activities, to name a few: the DYA Challenge, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Youth Club Sports, Trinidad and Tobago Police Youth Club Extravaganza, the JCI Tobago Garbage Cleanup in MORIAH.
The MORIAH Police Youth Club, led by Charlene Samaru, currently has 60 members. I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
La Cantina is the only restaurant in Tobago that bakes thin-crust Italian-style pizzas with a wood-burning stone oven. There are about 40 different pizzas ranging from vegetarian to meat to seafood. They cater to everyone, so don't hesitate to stop by the next time you come to Crown Point. Now, parents around the island are being advised on how to interact and positively influence their children. All thanks to this new program initiated by the Division of Education, Youth Affairs and Sport. Caroline Wallace has this report.
Parents around Tobago are getting advice on how they can positively influence their children. It's a program of the Division of Education, Youth Affairs and Sports Student Support Services Unit. The first stop was Mason Hall.
Society has changed a little bit because we find that both parents have to go out to work more, We have the single parents. That's an increased phenomenon. And they have to do what they do to take care of their family. And sometimes that leaves our children, without the attention that they may need. And our children are at risk.
Parents were also encouraged to become more involved in their children's school lives.
Build those supports, engage the community. The school is an important part of raising our children now. Be supportive of what's going on in your school. Go to the PTAs, because that's how you get to talk to the teachers. That's how you get to talk to other parents and build that support. Call the school. If you have problems.
And while it's important for parents to teach their children self-reliance, they were advised that there's also a need for balance.
We have given over too much of what we should be doing, too much responsibility to the children. As a matter of fact, we're at a time where children hold the keys, literally speaking, to the house. So you gone out, and you go, I leave the key wherever, or you're not supposed to leave the key there again. But they say, I put the key so and so for the children come in and there's boss, so they come in and open their house with their own key. Some of them going to school with their own key. Yes, times have changed. Parents are working in a tourism economy. You have shift workers, you're working evening, night. We understand that. There is still room for the extended family.
Next, the movement heads to Plymouth.
We don't want all you to go crazy, but we want all you to put more energy into protecting all your children from the enemy. Parents, hold the key. Who is the boss? Is you, mommy, and is you, daddy.
I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's Have Your Say time, and we want to hear some of your creative solutions to our question this week. We asked, what do you do when you notice a bushfire? Now let's take a look at what some of you had to say.
I think that the right thing to do is to notify the fire services and the authorities that are in charge of those kinds of things.
Call the fire service.
I first look at the fire and then I call the fire service.
When I see bush, I try to call the authorities. Call the fire brigade. Notify my neighbors.
Bucket brigade until fire services come.
You can't handle a bushfire. You have to call the relevant authorities.
Avoid it, walk around it and report it.
Try to see if there are any houses close by. If the people inside the houses are unaware of it, I'll alert them to it. Call the fire service. Maybe if I can and there's water readily available, try to assist in whatever way I can.
As we leave you this week, we get a glimpse behind me of the latest business to open in Crown Point, Salt Tobago, a beach shop. As always, we thank you for watching. Email us with your comments or queries about the program, and be sure to visit our website, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. From our house to yours, I'm Juliet Chambers, along with the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly, wishing you a safe and productive week.